Welcome.
Welcome to Shade and the City. I'm your girl Treese.
It's Nose.
And today, y'all, we are here to do none other than talk about King's Court. Okay. This is season 1, episode 5. And don't get me lying, because I don't remember the name of it.
Royal Dating Pool.
Thank you very much. That's why I have a co-host. Okay. So if I'm lagging, going a little slow, I apologize. We just had a storm, and I'm assuming that has something to do with it. But anyway, y'all. So if you haven't already, please do me a favor and hit that like button for me.
And a subscribe button.
And y'all, let's jump right into it. And yeah, let's get shady. It's an arrow. Y'all, so let's get into it. We first start off, we see Janae. She's expressing her frustrations and fears to Carlos. And in my opinion, I felt like she whined a lot this episode. I love me some Janae, but it's a lot of whining going on. So Carlos says, look, I'm learning a lot about you. And so then Sarah is at the table talking to, I believe it was Thaddeus, about the matchmaking situation. And this opens up a conversation about Thaddeus getting a vasectomy. And so Tari was like, well, what scares you about new life? And so Thaddeus was like, it's not about new life. He was like, I went through a divorce. It was really bad. And I didn't think I was going to be married again. And I didn't want to go.
Like, why you got to be scared just because you older and you've already had children? Like, you just don't want no more.
She's an antagonist. I'm gonna just call a thing a thing. She's absolutely an
La,
antagonist.
la. She definitely is. She definitely is.
Because I'm sorry, I just felt like, and when we get to that scene, but I felt like she was looking for the smoke and Ariel gave it to her.
Mm-hmm.
But she started it anyway. So basically he said, he didn't think he was going to be married again. He didn't want to go around creating broken homes since he grew up in one. And so Tari was like, well, you let a woman dictate, again, antagonistic. You let a woman dictate the fact that when you meet someone, you basically can't give them a baby. And he's like, look, it's because of how I came into this world, how I was raised. You don't know nothing about me. You giving me a lot of energy. Okay. And so he lets her know that his mother was great at 11 and had him at 12. And he said his life was a train wreck, and so was his relationship with his mother. So then Tari starts to get emotional. And I was like, oh, yeah, you are real emotional. And so Thaddeus says that, once he learned how he was conceived, it helped him realize that, his mother was a child raising a child. And so then Tari's still at the table. Now, at this point, she's almost inconsolable. And he's looking at her like, and so she admits that it's a little triggering for her. So Thaddeus knows that, her reaction to the vasectomy is deeper than just him not having any more kids, and says, he would like to talk to her more and learn, basically what she's went through.
I love that he one even opened up in that way because he didn't have to.
Absolutely.
That she was coming at him. And I love that he still consoled her and was still soft with her, even though, like you said, she was antagonizing.
Right.
Because I was like, listen.
And that's what I'm saying to you. That goes back to your point. I don't know if I would have been vulnerable with someone I felt like was low key trying to pick an argument with me
about having kids that I don't want.
Right. Like, this is my decision. And if you feel like that's not for you, boo, guess what? There's the door.
Exactly. But yeah, I love the fact that he was still soft. He was still soft with her, and noticed that she needed that softness.
Maybe if I just go off camera, it'll be better. But go ahead.
So Felicia, when pulled Tyson to the side 2 minutes before he was supposed to be having his sit down with Sarah. for their 1 a.m. appointment, and it's supposed to be the time that this is the nightcap time. Okay, this is the best time. So I thought it was weird that she pulled him to the side and wanted to talk about Jennifer. Like, girl,
Mhm.
you want to talk about another woman? Whatever. Sarah is kind of, getting picked on because, they like, girl, I thought you was on the list. What happened?
Right.
What had happened? And this is 5 minutes into her appointment with Tyson. So she's like, you know what? I decided I'm gonna take my ass to bed. F this appointment, okay? Because I got more self respect than that. I don't know. I kind of like Sarah.
Yeah.
She cares a little bit, like especially when
Well, she's a whiner too, but
when she brought that stuff to Tyson. I was like, girl,
yeah, right.
that is not his business. It ain't got nothing to do with him. But then Tyson sat down and spoke to Allison and explained that, he is trying to get to know her, but he does have two other ladies that he's been talking to as well, that were in the house before her. She said she completely understands. And he also told her that he liked to do extreme sports and noticed that she had like a pretty big scar on her arm and asked her if she was opposed to doing extreme sports because of it. And she said, no, a lot of it is physical capability. She doesn't feel comfortable because she can't extend her arm to a certain full range of motion. About a year ago, she had a really horrible bicycle accident. Um, and she said she has some really big scars across her body that she tries to cover up with makeup. And it completely changed her perspective on life. And then he shows her some little baby scar he got, talking about he got it from a motorcycle accident before, talking about the skin was hanging out. Child looked like he had a little scrape or something. Um, and she said that the more they get to know each other, the more she understands why they were matched.
I do think that, and well, first of all, let me just say, and this, I don't play for that team, and shout out to the LGBTQIA, but shit, Allison, I want to date Allison. I love her outlook in life. I think that
Mhm.
she's great. Like, just the fact that she had that accident, and for me, being honest, if it was me, yeah, I wouldn't have been getting on nobody's bike again. Okay, but the
I think it can either go either way. And like she said, you know what? I've lived my life. Basically,
right,
like I've done all the things I wanted to do. So I'm not about to stifle myself from having fun. Like,
right.
because if whatever I do that makes me happy is my life, basically, that's what it is. And some people do. Some people feel like that.
That's true. Well, we get to see Janae whining again about Carlos to Kat, and Kat in turn is whining about Tyson, giving her some times and how it triggers her for having to share him. So meanwhile, Thaddeus and Carlos are talking, and Carlos says that he plans to spend time with Jennifer, and Thaddeus is patiently waiting for Kalia to return. Okay. So they talk about how Jennifer is also Tyson's type, which I think I mentioned last recap. And I said, she's definitely playing both sides here. So then Ariel interrupts and asks Thaddeus, can you come join me in the pool? Because you've been gone a little too long. Okay. So anything important that you want to add? Okay. So they're having their little pool party to celebrate all the queens being there. And so Tari shows up in a braided wig. It was
To
cute.
me, it was giving Cleopatra the
I
whole
was gonna
thing.
say, it was so funny. I wanted to say I couldn't think of the name at the time, and I was thinking Nefertiti, but it absolutely gave Cleopatra. You're right.
Mhm.
And then Kalia actually does show up. So Ariel looks annoyed as soon as she gets there, and Carlos tells her, she just delivered a baby or something this morning. She was like, "That's cute."
But then I thought it was in a confessional. In a confessional, she was like, she's a pediatrician, not an
She's not
OBGYN.
an OBGYN,
But
okay?
what do I know? I'm just a physical therapist.
That part.
I thought it was hilarious.
But so Tyson is loving all the flavors, okay, that he has around him. And so Felicia starts to notice Jennifer getting more attention from Tyson, and she's not really feeling it. Like what her perfect match is, and that was to me not a meaningful conversation. So he asked Jennifer to go make him a margarita, but Janae already on it. She said that Jennifer needs to go have a seat in an Uber and never come back. Okay. And she up there, she said, shaking a stirred. How you want it, boo? She up there squeezing limes and everything. I said, oh, she was not playing. So Carlos said, look, I know I should be talking to Jennifer, but Janae is blocking she is CBing every attempt. Okay. So he said, I know I need to man up at some point, but right now I'm being a 6'9" chicken. Okay. And I said, damn, 6'9".
Did he say 6'9"?
Mm-hmm.
I thought he said 6 foot.
No, I thought he said 6'9". I would say, Jesus, that's almost 7 feet. That's a very tall man.
A very tall man. Good.
Mhm.
Where was he playing?
Chicago,
I
but
mean, what sport?
basketball.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah, it made sense for basketball, but it also made me wonder what type of being that tall comes with challenges. You know what I mean? Like as you get older, your knees, you start to because you're that tall.
yeah. I mean,
And because he's played a sport for probably 20 plus years. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, so Tyson goes over and asks Felicia to do some trick, and I don't know if they was trying to do the dirty dancing joint or what up, but he lifts.
I thought it was Demi that he asked to do it, and then Felicia yelled out, "That's my man."
No, I thought he asked because he said maybe I'm wrong, but I thought he asked Felicia to do it. She did it, and then after she does it, she lets everyone know Tyson's her man. That's my man, basically. So then the other ladies tell her, "Girl, he everybody, man. You so stupid."
He told everybody.
Right. And so Sarah feels like Felicia is trying to punk her a little bit by staking her claim and said, I ain't running around calling nobody my man that ain't my man 100%. Well, that's you, boo.
Exactly. And look, even if you wasn't calling him your man, I would have still said something like, "That's cute. You think so?"
And I'm gonna be honest, I don't know if it's more part of the competition. I don't. Well, I can't say that because I was a little blown when I saw that they had already had confessionals together. But I was
What do
gonna
you
say I don't really think he like her like that.
like? Who like that? Felicia?
Sarah.
Oh, and that they had a confessional
Yeah,
together.
and that's why I said I don't know if I can say that now because they
Because they
absolutely had.
definitely did. I was shocked. I was like, "Ooh," because is that the only person he had a
Yeah,
confessional?
I've never seen Janae and Carlos in a confessional. Nobody, I don't think any other king has done that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was quite shocked too. So then Thaddeus is sitting with the ladies at the pool, and lets them know, you know what, Tyson has a list, and me and Carlos, are going to do a list as well, so we can get you ladies scheduled. Ariel said, "Yeah, I ain't feeling that. I don't like that idea." She said it feels like, dating in a panic and is very obnoxious, and told him that he's changing his dynamic so he can mirror Tyson's. She
I
said,
love that she checked him on it.
mm-hmm.
Now, I will say I don't think that it needed to be in front of and I think that was Thaddeus's problem. If you're gonna try to check me, let's have this conversation. Because that's exactly what she was trying to do. It wasn't even like a question.
I hear you, and I heard him, but I also heard her when she said it was a public conversation. Like, you
Mhm.
stated it in front of everybody. I'm
Okay.
responding to you in front of everybody.
Okay. I can.
So I didn't think her response to him was out of line, but I do feel that the back and forth between her and Tari was unnecessary. But
Yes.
I mean, if you're gonna say it out
Say
in
it
front
with
of
your whole
everybody,
chest.
I mean, I'm supposed to hold my tongue because I have something. You just said it to everybody. You just said it to everybody in front of everybody. So I didn't think there was anything wrong with that. She said, basically, she ain't gonna be like Kat and wait her turn. And Tari said, some people wait their whole life for love. I said, girl, if you don't shut the fuck up. And if people want to wait, then let them wait. And asked her if she was nervous. Girl, girl, nervous. Who are you connected with? You over
Right.
here trying to get that Thaddeus' attention, and you ain't got it yet. So you should be nervous, Bookie. Okay. She told Tari, she thinks that it's about other people and it's not. And Thaddeus is like, okay, you basically you need to find out what we think. Like you what the guys think. Listen, when Daddy has pulled me to the side and was like,
Mm,
come on, let's go talk. I'd have been like, are you nervous? Boo. He ain't pulling you to the side because he don't give a about you. Okay.
right.
He wants to come talk to the queen. All right. So yes, he pulled Ariel to the side and asked her why she's going back with some back and forth with someone when it's something that he proposed. He said, you should tell me how you feel. Um, but to tell everyone amongst the group is not queen behavior.
Oh, yeah.
And you decide what's queen behavior.
Well, I will say, and again, I'm not. I again, Tari started it, so the way Thaddeus came at her, I was kind of like, yeah, you coming at the wrong person. If anything, he should have been coming at Tari and
But
saying
I
it's
think
not.
he came at her because he don't really see it for Tari. Like he don't see Tari as his queen. So why am I gonna check you if I don't have that much interest in you?
Okay, I
And
can
that's
see the
why
perspective.
and that's why I said when he pulled her to the side, I would have been like, oh, are you nervous? Because he doesn't even see it for you enough to have this conversation with you. Do you know what I'm
Right.
saying? So the fact that you're pulling me to the side, you know what? Basically, you're saying this is how I expect my woman, and you just display something different, whatever, whatever. He's not doing that with her. So yeah, I hear you, but you're not going to spend energy on something that is irrelevant to you. You know what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
then he told her that this was a test. Now this is where you
You would have
lost.
been annoyed.
Yes, I'd have been annoyed. And she was like, all these damn tests, and he was like, yeah, because we need to know. You know what? Well, this was a test, okay? Because you just said some in public, okay, to everybody, and you got a problem with me responding to you in public. So I actually felt him when he said this. He was like, I think the problem that he was having was that it wasn't just her speaking there in the pool about it out loud. She was speaking to everyone in the house about it previously and making people feel insecure about signing up for this list or being on this list or whatever. So he said, give someone a benefit of the doubt of saying, hey, let me hear from your perspective instead of responding, in your feelings. And she said, you know what? I understand, what he's saying, but basically it was a public conversation. So I think he didn't like the fact that I think he felt like she was putting in other women's head that you're disrespecting yourself by being on the list. Like even drawing what's the girl name? Cat. Even drawing Cat into the conversation.
Right.
I think he didn't like that. Um
Oh, I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. I get.
yeah.
I get. Yeah.
And I can totally agree with that. If you feel like you don't want to do it, that's fine, but you don't need to speak out loud like, oh, I don't like that. I ain't doing that. Da 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 da. When
Right, and
other
make them seem like they beneath you.
exactly when other women are okay signing up for this list and what have you. So Kalia is talking to some of the ladies, and she said she's confused. Okay, why the kings are not mingling? She was like, last night was amazing, but then I walked in today and everybody seemed like they coupled up. Okay. Tari said, Ariel is over there glued to Thaddeus's left thigh. Okay. And Clea said, well, he seems pretty content with it. But I don't know. I'm feeling like I should bust it up. Not to antagonize her, but I want my time too, boo. I was like, oh.
I was like, okay, girl, go get your man.
I said, okay, Dr. Kalia, I'm fine. What's it? And look, Tari like that. She was like, yes, okay. Go on, start some shit.
Go and
Okay.
start some shit, because I'm the only one here
Exactly.
doing it.
And I'm gonna sit exactly. I'm gonna sit over here and watch. Don't
Right.
believe. Let's watch.
So then we see Denitra over here asking Jennifer if she plans on spending any time with Carlos. And Jennifer said, you know what, I'm just not trying to interject. That's just not my style, my personality. However, I do believe that we were matched together for a reason, and I will have a conversation with him and tell him that I do think it's worth exploring. And I said, okay. we'll see how that go if you can get to have a conversation with him. So then Kat um is all upset when she sees Tyson chilling with Tari. So he pulls her to the side and he said, "Look, I'm worried about her. All right." So he tells, "Look, I'm concerned. It looks like you're not happy here. You in a funk." And she said, "I just can't be my authentic self. And yeah, I do want to leave. I just don't want to look like a bad person." And Tyson said, "Look, I don't want you to be a hostage in this house because that's not what we do." Okay. So Kat finally decides, "Well, yeah, let me just go home." And Tyson said, "We can still be friends." And so, Tyson's like, "You know what? I'm proud of myself for cutting the cord. Usually I don't do that. But I stood up, I manned up and I did what I had to do." And I said, "I actually am proud of you too, because I believe that." He already said he ghosts bitches.
Mm-hmm.
That's his thing. So it doesn't so I was like, okay, kudos. We getting some growth here, but I still don't think he's gonna leave here with nobody. So meanwhile, Sarah sees Kat packing, so she all confused, and Carlos tells Tyson, "Well, you know what? This actually, because he's pulled him to the side to tell, the other guys that he sent her home. And, basically he said this frees you up to make other moves and actually find out who you're really supposed to be with." And I was like, see, this is why I like Carlos. His head is in the game. All right. Carlos don't need no list. So then we see Sarah and Ariel, and they're talking about Felicia's "my man" comment. And meanwhile, Felicia is across the pool and notices that Sarah has an issue with her and says basically it's high school and she's very grown. And she said, ain't no female gonna put fear in her heart. Okay, ain't no hole in her blood. All right.
Jesus Christ. Oh my God, you're a mess. Not ain't no on her blood.
So then Sarah pulls Tyson to the side to talk to him about Felicia. And Tyson goes to have a word with Felicia and tries and tells her, "Can you please stop making sad comments?" And Felicia said, "What we not gonna do, I ain't here for you checking me about no other woman, especially if I ain't did. If she got a problem." So Tyson was like, "You know what? Felicia ain't playing about me, okay? I ain't realized, but she in it to win it, okay?" So he said, "Look," and confessional, he said, "Yeah, Felicia won this one." And he said, "Sarah need to put her big girl panties on and figure it out."
And that's what it is. And that's what it is. You don't. I didn't like that she was trying to get him involved in women's business.
I agree.
And then, he tried to take up, but I love the fact that Felicia was like, "Yeah, don't do it. Don't do it."
Mm-mm.
So then the ladies were invited to an elimination dinner. It was Sarah, Tari, Ariel, and Steph. Thaddeus sat down with Tari and asked her, what's going on? Um, because to him, she's hurting or healing from something. She said that she was moved by what he said about his mom and how he got here, and it made her think about her mom a lot in that moment. She said, her mom was in a similar situation with one of her siblings and said that her mom was amazing and she poured into them. And he said, so did his mom. That's his hero. And she did the best she could with what she had. He told her, I don't know what this journey is to you, but there's no way you're going to be able to love me um, with what you're carrying. And, I want you healed. And he said, you don't have to fight every battle on your own. It's not yours to fight. It's for the Lord. Okay, I said, all right, there it is. All right, so Carlo sat down with Steph and told her that they have a homie friendship vibe, and he's trying to see if they can have a, get into a romantic place. And she said that she thinks that they can, but she'd rather capture him mentally first and then move into the physical part. Oh, clearly that ain't what he's trying to do. Okay. She said a perfect day for her would be playing a little basketball. She loved when they was throwing the football back and forth. And she's definitely open to exploring the more romantic side. Good luck.
I was
Um,
gonna say, good luck with that.
Ariel sat down with Thaddeus and had a conversation, and he let her know he had an issue with what he said, but she went off on somebody else. Um,
Mm.
and if you're
But
doing,
that somebody else was coming at her
Mhm.
about what she was saying to him. Let's
I
remember
don't
that,
know if he just
Thaddeus.
expected her to dismiss her and be like, I'm talking to him, or the issue is with him, or what. I don't know what he was expecting, but
Right.
I know he didn't like that exchange. Um, and basically, if you're doing that now here, what are you going to do when we're, really dealing with something. And, said that he doesn't want to be in a position where, you know, it's got to be like, watch out for his girl because she be tripping. No, just stay away, okay? Because she be tripping. Um, so she apologized for it and said, it's probably coming from her place. And she wants to figure out why she was triggered by that situation. Then Tyson sat down with Sarah, and she can't understand why the hell, out of all the girls in the house, she is being put in that position.
Right.
He said, "Well, you're here for a reason." There was a little bit of headbutting. And she said, "You know what? If you want to send me home because I can't have a thought around here, then go ahead. That's fine."
He said he needed somebody in place of Kat because she left voluntarily.
Child. He said it's not that you can't have a thought, but how you present it, and told her she got to be a little smarter. Now that would piss me off. Then asked why she didn't go to Felicia and tell her what she said that she didn't like. And then she was like, you know what? I'm not talking to any of you guys anymore, and I'm not talking to her. And he's like, what, you mean you're not talking to me anymore? And she's like, yeah, I might not. I really thought Sarah was going home after this. Like, if you ain't gonna talk to me. Basically, she was like, because you're making something out of nothing. Actually, it was you, ma'am. She was like, after the conversations we had, I feel like I can't trust what you said. So, she's still pissed. And, he tries to console her and grab her hand, and she really just not having it. So then at the elimination dinner, Tari was eliminated so that she can go heal herself. Steph was also eliminated because she's giving homie vibes, and Ariel and Sarah got to stay. But I would have felt some type of way that Tyson is talking to me with nasty ass goals in his mouth. Like, sir.
Yeah, I clocked that too. And I was like, Tyson, what are we doing?
Like,
Again, I don't think he's gonna leave here with nobody. And if he do, we're gonna find out very quickly as soon as the show goes off that they're not together. That's my prediction.
What's so funny? It's funny
What?
that you said that because remember I told you I watched Queen's Court.
Correct.
And you know how we talk about Pisces being lovers and all this other stuff, right?
Oh, okay. You gonna talk about K Michelle?
No.
I thought she was on there.
Is she a Pisces?
Yeah.
Is she really?
That mouth.
Oh,
And
but
that,
no, was it no? Was K Michelle on
I
there?
think
No,
she wasn't she on a
it
season
was
with
Nivea. It was Nivea, Delicious, and Tamar.
Oh, okay, yeah, with Tamar. But no, I felt like the second season, K Michelle was on it
Oh, with Lisa Ray.
Lisa Ray, yeah.
No, I was thinking of the one with Tamar.
Mm-hmm.
If that's even the right one that she was on. Now I'm confused. Well, whatever. I was just thinking, I was like, well, Tamar was the only one that left with somebody
Mm-hmm.
and actually tried to make it work with her little Pisces ass.
Well, Evelyn did too. She played in our face. They got whole engaged, didn't they?
That was the one with Nivea.
Right.
Yeah,
But
did
yeah, no, and it's hilarious because the two Pisces can't stand each other. That's why I say sometimes they're the other fish. K Michelle and Tamar can't stand each other. But it's because they mouth. A Pisces,
you know what? And that makes so much sense. I love me some K Michelle. I did not know she was Pisces.
yeah, a Pisces mouth is dangerous.
I love me. I love it though. Rashida got bags.
Her husband's a girl.
I love
Matter of fact, she's a March 4th Pisces. Shout out to K Michelle.
I love me some K Michelle, boy. She is so talented.
But anyway, y'all, thank you so much for tuning into this recap of King's Court and, dealing with our late recaps. We appreciate your patience. If you have not already, please make sure that you've hit the like button.
Make sure you comment.
Make sure that you guys subscribe.
And you hit the notification bell.
And make sure you're following us on all the platforms. That's the TikTok, IG, Facebook, Blue Sky, and the X, y'all. And yeah, hopefully my Wi-Fi gets better by tomorrow. But yeah, I love y'all. Y'all have a great night, and we will catch y'all next week. We are finally caught up, and I'm happy. Bye bye.